I'll start, Narad, sir.
Yes.
In a brief moment caught, a little space, all knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts, lodged in the expectant stillness of his depths, a crystal of the ultimate absolute, a portion of the inexpressible truth revealed by silence to the silent soul.
Oh, it's a beautiful section. So we are, of course, in the Yoga of the Soul's Release, Canto 3 of Book 1.
Yep.
Ashwapati is evolving rapidly into what he must become, which is a seer, a sage. And we see now that all knowledge was caught in just a brief moment and a little space. And that knowledge was packed into great wordless thoughts. So there were no words in that knowledge because all knowledge doesn't need words to express itself. Lodged in the expectant stillness of his depths. And what was lodged there? A crystal of the ultimate absolute, a portion of the inexpressible truth, revealed by silence to the silent soul. So we see that not the whole thing is given to him yet. It's a portion of the inexpressible truth that has been revealed to him through silence and to his silent soul. And we can also experience those things when we can make our soul absolutely silent, make our mind silent without any words in it at all. Do not allow any words to come in. Then it is possible for us also. So we'll move on.
The intense creatrix in his stillness wrought her power fallen speechless, grief intimate. She looked upon the scene and unguessed domains she made her native field.
All right, so now we're getting into a very intense line. This is the intense creatrix, who is the Divine Mother,
Yeah.
Prakriti,
Mhm.
has wrought, has made, formed in his stillness.
Mhm.
What has she formed in his stillness? We have to see. Well, first of all, that her power that is fallen speechless grows even more intimate. And when we have the experience of the divine within us, no words are necessary. No words at all. Nothing needs to be explained because we just receive it. So she looked upon the scene. This is the divine creatrix. And she looked upon the unforeseen also. So she sees the past, present, and future. Trikaladastri.
Okay.
And unguessed domains, these areas, she made her native field.
Mhm. So unguessed domains.
Unguessed domains are the intuition that makes her native field, and it gathers all vision into a single ray, and we're going to read that next.
Okay. So Narad sir, just one question here about unguessed domains she made her native field. So that's the future, right? From Trikal Drushti.
Yes, it is, but it's also unguessed domains that the Divine Mother makes her native field. We don't have a clue to those domains. They're even unguessed by us, but the divine creatrix makes them her native field. And these unguessed domains are made by intuition in us. So we see that all vision has been gathered into a single ray.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah, understood. All right, Narad sir, I'll read further then. All vision gathered into a single ray, as when the eyes stare at an invisible point, till through the intensity of one luminous spot, an apocalypse of a world of images enters into the kingdom of the seer.
A lot to talk about here. First of all, we have that hyphenated word, all vision.
Hmm.
So it's not all vision, but it's all vision. See
All
the
vision.
difference? We could say, I have seen everything. I
Hmm.
had all vision. But no, it's all vision. It means everything is gathered into that single ray. And then he says this interesting thing. He says, as when the eyes
Mhm.
stare at it into a single ray. And I remember looking as a child at the railroad tracks, where they begin as two tracks, and in the distance they become one. So through the intensity of one luminous spot, an apocalypse of a world of images now enters into the kingdom of the seer. Now, we had this discussion the other night with Ranganathan, and he said apocalypse is always kind of a negative thing, or someone else said that, but it's not true. Any revelation or prophecy could be an apocalypse. It
Oh,
can be it can be a cataclysm in which the forces of good permanently triumph over the forces of evil. And that's where the negativity comes about in the word apocalypse. We're facing an apocalypse. We read about so very often. But it also can simply be a revelation or a prophecy. But generally, it is concerning a cataclysm in which the forces of good permanently triumph over the forces of evil. It's very important.
okay.
And this now has entered into the kingdom of the seer. Now, the word seer here is interesting because the seer is the seer, one
Mhm.
who sees.
Mhm.
And this often happens to artists, even composers. Brahms said that he could go to this place and choose any of the chords or melodies and bring them down.
Mhm.
Amazing, see?
Yeah,
Um, so this is available to all of us. It's available to the great minds, to the great literary minds, musical minds, etc. And now we're going to see some very challenging lines.
sure. A great nude arm of splendor suddenly rose. It rent the gauze opaque of nescience. Her lifted fingers, keen, unthinkable tip, barred with a stab of flame, the closed beyond.
Yeah, again, you made the mistake on barred. There's only one R, and it's bared.
Bared. Okay. Bared.
Yeah, bared, uncovered. Bared is uncovered. Huh? So now we'll go to this. This great nude arm of splendor, he sees this rising. It rent the gauze opaque of nescience. Now, this is a very challenging line. First of all, we have the definition for gauze, and it's usually a thin, transparent fabric with an open weave. Uh, Curtains and clothing are made out of it. Now, opaque, of course, is impenetrable by light. And so we see this great nude arm of splendor suddenly rising, and it tears. Rent is tears here. Rent doesn't mean rent like
Rent means
renting an
air.
apartment. It means tore. It tore the gauze opaque of nescience.
Mm.
And of course, Sri Aurobindo has often explained nescience to us very clearly. So her lifted fingers, the finger of that arm, keen, unthinkable tip, now bared with a stab of flame, the closed beyond. So this is very mystical, great, great symbols here. Um, what we can say only is that Sri Aurobindo uses the word as an adjective, unthinkable tip, too
Mm.
great to be conceived of by thought.
Okay.
So her lifted fingers, keen, keen is very sharp.
Mm-hmm.
If you're keen, you're a very sharp person. Unthinkable tip, just the tip of her finger. Imagine that. The tip of her finger bears, in other words, uncovers with a stab of flame everything that was closed in the beyond, the closed beyond. Powerful lines, powerful.
So this is basically uncovering the ignorance, the cover of ignorance, right? Is that how?
Well, the beyond could be anything. He capitalizes the be of beyond. So, what could be beyond? It could be worlds that are beyond our world.
Uh-huh.
It could be planes of existence that are closed to us, they're closed beyond.
Okay. Okay. It's,
So,
okay.
we took some time on this because it's very, very important
Sure.
to understand it. I'd like you to read it maybe twice if possible, so
Sure.
you can get the feeling of it all the way through, okay?
Sure. And Narad sir, one other question I have. So her lifted fingers, keen, unthinkable tip. Her means it's the Divine Mother here.
Yes, the supreme creatrix.
Okay, the Supreme Creatrix. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll read that again, Narad sir.
Yeah.
Okay. A great nude arm of splendor suddenly rose. It rent the gauze opaque of nescience. Her lifted fingers, keen, unthinkable tip, bared with a stab of flame, the closed beyond.
We would say unthinkable, not unthinkable, unthinkable.
Unthinkable. Okay.
Yes, there you got it now. Very
Unthinkable.
good.
Now, so 1 second, I'm making a note. Okay.
No, you take your time. This is very important.
Okay.
You have to convey to me what Ashrapati is going through
Okay. I'll read that one more time.
in a brief moment caught from the beginning.
Okay. In a brief moment caught, a little space, all knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts, lodged in the expectant stillness of his depths, a crystal of the ultimate absolute, a portion of the inexpressible truth revealed by silence into the silent soul.
Yeah, okay, well read. Only little, I don't like little. Little, little, little. T.
Okay,
Pronounce the T's. Little.
little. Okay, little.
Yes, yes, that's it. It's not little, that's poor English. So
Okay,
it should be little, a little space, a little space.
okay, little, little. T- Okay. Oh, in a brief moment caught, a little space,
No, little, it, a little.
a little,
Little. Like lit, little.
little. Okay, a little space, little.
Okay, good, good.
All knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts.
But you see, it's not all knowledge packed, but it's all knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts, lodged in the expectant stillness of his depths. You see how you have to change the accent there.
Okay, okay,
All knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts. Okay?
understood. Yeah. All knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts.
Yeah, but you're accenting packed too much. It's all knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts.
Okay,
See the difference? You're
yes, yes,
conveying it differently.
understood. Okay. All knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts,
Yes.
lodged in the expectant stillness of his depths, a crystal of the ultimate absolute, a portion of the inexpressible truth revealed by silence to the silent soul. The intense creatrix in his stillness wrought, her power fallen speechless grew more intimate. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen. Unguessed domains she made her native field.
Yeah, the only thing I would change would be you say, she looked upon, no, she looked upon the seen and the unforeseen.
Okay,
Much slower there.
okay. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen.
Yeah, but actually you want here to accent a little bit seen and then unforeseen. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen.
Okay. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen.
No, unforeseen.
Unforeseen.
Yeah, accent on unforeseen.
Unforeseen. Okay. Unforeseen. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen.
Un,
Unguessed. Okay. Sorry.
it's okay.
Yep.
This is very difficult passage and we want to take it very carefully.
Mhm, mhm. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen. Unguessed domains she made her native field. All vision gathered into a single ray, as when the eyes stare at an invisible point, till through the intensity of one luminous spot, an, ap- an apocalypse of
No, apocalypse.
apocalypse,
Apocalypse.
apocalypse,
Yes,
apocalypse.
apocalypse. Maybe start up a little bit higher. The as when the eyes stare.
Sure. As when the eyes stare at an invisible point, till through the intensity of one luminous spot, an apocalypse of a of images enters into the kingdom of the seer. A great nude arm of splendor suddenly rose. It rent the gauze opaque of nescience.
Yeah, but I would say it's a great nude arm of splendor suddenly rose. Not a great nude arm of splendor, but a great nude arm of splendor suddenly rose.
Okay. A great nude arm of splendor suddenly rose.
Very good.
It rent the gauze opaque of nescience.
Yeah, but see, here it is. It's the gauze opaque. It rent the gauze opaque of nescience.
It rent the gauze. Okay. It rent the gauze opaque of
No,
nescience.
it's the gauze opaque of nescience. It's the gauze opaque. It's the dark, almost thin fabric of nescience that it tore.
Oh, okay.
See, it rent, it tore this gauze opaque of nescience.
It rent the gauze opaque of nescience. Her lifted fingers' keen, unthinkable tip, bared with a stab of flame, the closed beyond.
Yes, very, very difficult passage, isn't it? But I think you've got it. If you have any other questions,
No, Narad sir, this was the meaning came to me, but I'll keep practicing this. And I
okay, great.
basically
Good,
emphasizing on, pauses and how to say words together. That's very important. I'm understanding from this pack, these
wonderful.
things here, but
Yeah, I've been a little tough on you today.
no, that's important. I mean, otherwise the meaning is not going to come out well.
Okay, can you start one more time? The joy of light. We have a few minutes.
Okay,
Make me feel that joy of light.
okay, enjoy of light. Uh,
Yeah, just a little bit up above.
oh, okay, okay.
Just 4 lines or 5 lines above.
Yes, yeah, got it. A joy of sight, a joy of light, a joy of sudden sight, a rupture of the thrilled and dying world poured into his heart as into an empty cup, a repetition of God's first delight, creating in a young and virgin time. In a brief moment caught, a little space, all knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts, lodged in the expectant stillness of his depths, a crystal of the ultimate absolute, a portion of the inexpressible truth revealed by silence to the silent soul.
Much
The,
better, except a little, little, little.
a
No,
little,
little, a little. It, lit, little.
a little,
Yes.
a little. In a
Okay.
brief moment caught, a little space,
Yes.
all knowledge packed into great wordless thoughts, lodged in the expectant stillness of his depths, a crystal of the ultimate absolute, a portion of the inexpressible truth revealed by silence to the silent soul. The intense creatress in his stillness wrought, her power fallen speechless grew more intimate. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen.
No, unforeseen. Accent on unforeseen.
She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen, unforeseen,
Unforeseen, yes. So if something is foreseen, it's seen in advance. If it's unforeseen, it's not seen at all.
yeah, yeah. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen.
No, unforeseen.
So un and then foreseen together. Okay.
Yes, unforeseen.
Seen and the unforeseen.
No, you're accenting for. It's the unforeseen, unforeseen,
Unforeseen. Okay.
yeah, unforeseen.
Unforeseen.
Yes,
She
better.
looked upon the scene and the unforeseen.
No, you're still accenting the for. Unforeseen.
Unfor- Unforeseen. Okay. I'll practice Narad sir. Maybe it's
Okay, and we pick it up next week again, sure.
sure.
Very good.
Okay. Narad
You
sir, do
could
you want
fin-
me to complete or should we leave here? I don't know if you have.
no, you can continue. Go ahead.
Okay. Unguessed domains she made her native feel. All vision gathered into a single ray, as when the eyes stare at an invisible point, till through the intensity of one luminous spot, an apocalypse of a world of images enters into the kingdom of the seer. A great nude arm of splendor suddenly rose. It rent the gaze opaque of nescience.
Gauze, not gaze, gauze.
It rent the gauze opaque of nescience. Her lifted fingers, keen, unthinkable tip, bar, bared with a stab of flame, the
Good.
closed beyond. Okay.
Pretty good. Tough one today, but very well done. Very well done. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Narad sir. Thanks a lot.